Good late Tuesday, early Wednesday meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now, giving a look at that current Doppler radar across the region. See some scattered shower activity toward Franklin County right now, but the rest of the picture looks pretty clear. I know it looks like we're going to have maybe an earlier start to some of the convection here across the area on your Wednesday. So that'll be something to keep an eye out for. Maybe even some morning rain as we're looking, especially further off toward the west potentially. So that'll be something we are looking out for. As you do see, those current temperatures still, even into the late night, wee hours of the morning. 81 around Tallahassee, 80 in Albany, 77 around Keystone. Where I'm at, we're at 75 east of Starks. That kind of tells the story. Even 85 there right now as we get over toward Mayport, and 86 there in Apalachicola. So that is just warm. I know one place that is warm where they're going to have maybe more issues than we would have here from the heat is out toward the Lone Star State, because they're dealing with the aftermath, especially around Houston, of Hurricane Beryl. Ended up strengthening. We had that live landfall coverage there Monday morning. If you weren't with us, I know we were on all the different platforms trying to keep folks safe and informed. Facebook there, Casey Cloud WX, Cloud Weather, Twitter /X at Cloud Casey, YouTube at Cloud Weather, Twitch Cloud Weather, and cloudweather.com. I know the storm system making landfall there and just causing some big problems. I know that track kept shifting and shifting until it ended up really playing a big role there into things around Houston, really having a huge impact in terms of power outages, tree damage. A lot of trees fell, and even some causing fatalities there. So you just hate seeing that, and that's kind of what you get in a higher end category 1 hurricane, especially. I know as of now they were going with winds closer to 80 miles an hour at landfall there. I would kind of say sustained, probably. They'll do the post analysis with the National Hurricane Center. I think they'll go 85 or 90, maybe even 95 to be quite honest. But just based on we had gusts there a little bit higher, and generally the gusts are 10 miles an hour, give or take, higher than what you go with for sustained. So we're seeing gusts in the mid to high 90s. I mean, pretty far inland as the storm was strengthening on approach. That kind of made things a little tricky, and that those storms generally have an easier time putting the stronger winds down toward the surface, and just also, I mean, getting the messaging out. I mean, it was messaged, several days out that something like this could happen. It's just when you have a storm strengthening on approach like that, sometimes it's harder to maybe get an exact idea of how things are going to be right there when it comes on in, as you kind of really cause some big problems. I think we had some gusts there a little above 95, so they might just go 85 in post analysis. We shall see, but they had 80 there at landfall for now to the Hurricane Center. I know Houston there, definitely seeing some nasty conditions in those hurricane force wind gusts there, and over the city. Just a lot of folks in the dark. That's why the heat going to be a big problem here as we're looking at things, and just keeping everybody in my thoughts and prayers. We had tornadoes there toward Louisiana and the like with this system, and as we look further on up here, you can kind of see here we have a tornado risk that's been in play, and even our center circulation up toward areas that are closer to Indianapolis as of the 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central update there from folks there right now. The Weather Prediction Center doing these. Is the center is going to track further up, but areas in northern Indiana and Ohio there, and Michigan getting into some rain from what is left of Beryl. So that's interesting to see there. And then as we look ahead in the timeline, I know we'll be watching a tornado threat as we get toward areas further up to the east, which I'll get to in a moment as we look ahead on that Wednesday there. So that'll be something to take note of here for sure. Definitely something to take heed of as the timeline does evolve. So we'll continue to watch out for that there on that national level. But let's go ahead and kind of go back down toward the south here. You see the warmer temperatures closer to home. Definitely something that is worth noting here as we look at the scenario, as we look at things. We're just going to go ahead and just keep an eye, I know, out on and watch the even. I mean, let's go to infrared satellite real quick and just want to kind of look at that here as we kind of check things on out. I know you can see a little bit of accent there east of Florida as we kind of watch things, but right now, at least, not really expecting anything tropical as we're looking. Let me just make sure we don't have anything new from the Hurricane Center there in Miami as we kind of check things on out. I know I'm just going to go ahead and check here and don't see anything, so not too concerned with that, but I just thought I'd check on it there as we kind of give you the latest information. But I know definitely folks in Houston having all those winds there from Beryl and that landfall there. As we're looking a little bit down the coast just a bit, I mean, watching areas there. You see Galveston, but it made landfall a little bit further south here. As we were looking, you know, you see areas like Matagorda there on the map. So, again, that kind of tells the story. Kind of important to keep our eyes on there for sure. As we kind of just look at the overall picture there. Let's go ahead and switch on over toward the graphics now. I think that'd be a good place to go because as we kind of look at the overall scenario, you can see we've already got Alberto Chris off the list, and then since Beryl is not considered something that the Hurricane Center is doing the advisories on anymore, I've gone ahead and crossed that name off. I know Debbie could be the next name. I know decent chance Beryl is going to get retired based on what it did this year. Debbie was a name like Beryl that impacted our area in 2012. So we'll see how things kind of look here later on in the timeline, and then it doesn't mean anything, obviously. It's just kind of interesting tidbit. But as you see here, tropical climatology, still early on in the hurricane season, and many more hurricanes are expected. It'll just be a matter of where they go here. Hopefully they don't head toward the U.S. like this one did, and hopefully they don't head especially toward our area here, North Florida and South Florida, but we shall see. And then this is the severe tornado risk I was looking at here as we were going toward Wednesday. You can see that pretty substantial risk there. Some severe weather. Scranton in Pennsylvania, Binghamton, New York, Albany, New York. I know Rochester's in there. Utica there. We'll be watching that area as well as the situation that does evolve. You know, just got to be kind of mindful. Syracuse, New York. So again, that kind of gives you an idea of what to anticipate. And then as we go ahead and show you here that rainfall forecast, you can see looks like the next 7 days, a good bit of moisture there extending up into the Carolina area there. You know, Myrtle Beach into toward Wilmington and Cape Hatteras there, kind of giving you an idea. And then toward northeast Florida there, the first coast, a little bit more rain maybe than Tallahassee. As we're looking at our local level of things, I know you can go to cloudweather.com/radar for an interactive look at things when we're not on the air. And in that planning forecast, 60% chance of rain on Wednesday, 50% on Thursday, Friday, and then going back up as we get into the weekend just a bit. It's not going to be maybe something that, you know, changes too much. It's going to kind of vary day to day in the summertime scenario, but the highs are just a bit above average, the lows as well here. Definitely hot and humid around, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water. We've had a lot of heat advisories lately, so that's something to kind of just keep in mind here. And I know we've been watching the rip currents there toward some of those coastal areas toward the Gulf, especially here lately. That's something to touch on here too. But I know we're looking to see if the new Storm Prediction Center outlook comes on out here for that tornado risk. It may get upgraded to a 10% risk there as we're looking toward areas there and parts of maybe New York State or Pennsylvania or both. Hadn't happened quite yet. Any update coming on out, but I know I'll be watching the scenario here. Let me go ahead and go back on over toward the other source, and you can see that current risk. That's your day one risk for now, but day one will come out further off toward the east in a few minutes. I know the Storm Prediction Center website, sbc.noaa.gov, will have that, so look for that there. Depending on how things transpire there, I'll update my Twitter/X account. We'll be retweeting something over there as well. So that'll do it for now. Have a great night, everybody. Be on as needed for local severe weather concerns. Anything national, I know local is random. National would be something really significant if I needed to pop one there. if something really significant was going on toward parts of Pennsylvania and New York State. But for now, have a great night, everybody, as we continue to watch things across our area, across the nation. I know there's that Doppler perspective. Just putting that back on the board there for everybody watching at home or on the go.